Good evening and welcome to Lesbrown's Motivational Monday Night Call, your place for motivation and inspiration by world-renowned speaker, author, coach, Mr. Les Brown, featuring Mr. Brown and his platinum speakers. My name is Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant, and I have the privilege and the blessing of being your host on these Motivational Monday Night Calls. And I thank you for taking time out of your Monday to join us and be a part of this conversation. It is the first Monday in the month of June. Can you believe the year is literally almost halfway done? We are at the last month of the second quarter, and we're so excited that you continue to join in and be a part of this family. So with that being said, I want to invite you to stay connected with Mr. Brown on Facebook at brown.les, that's brown.les, as well as finding out information on how you can further your desires to be a speaker or a coach at the lesbrowninstitute.com. That's the lesbrowninstitute.com. Mr. Brown is also scheduled to be live with his daughter, Ona Brown, and L.T. Taylor, retired NFL player, on June 24th in the Fort Lauderdale area. And I will be giving you more information on how you can join that opportunity on June 24th, once again in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the end of the call. I want to welcome all of the new callers that are here for the first time. Thank you for joining in and being a part of what we do here every single Monday night. And I also want to just pause for a moment so that we can send our prayers, our light, and our love across this world where so many tragic things are happening. And we can see just hurt and anguish. I did not listen to the news today at length. I just saw all of the flashing going across with updates of what has happened again in England and some other parts of the country. And this Motivational Monday Night Call is an opportunity for us to be reminded that our spirit, our light, our focus, our services, our dreams, our products, whatever it is that we're bringing to the world, it's so necessary and needed now. And we really need to be beacons of light. Mr. Brown's mission is to inspire millions of voices of hope across this planet, and we hope that you are inspired to do the same so that we can just be the antidote to the things that go wrong and the bad things that happen to good people. So I thank you for tuning in, and I have a treat for you tonight. As you know, as Mr. Brown is working on taking a break, you know it's hard for him to take a break, but he is working on it, and he wants you to know that he's grateful to each of you for your support, your continued interaction online, for you still watching the YouTube videos and everything that you're doing. Because of you, he has this incredible platform that we're all able to partake and share in. And when he's on the road, he trusts myself and the other platinums to be able to deliver messages of hope that will inspire you. And tonight, you get to hear from a voice that some of you may recall from previous calls, and some will be meeting for the first time tonight. He is the CEO of Randolph Unlimited Business Training Company. He's the author of 2 best-selling books, and he's known for his innovative business and leadership strategies. He travels nationally to various audiences and businesses on how to improve their leadership skills, individual productivity, and revenue within their workplace. He is someone that you want to right now get a pen, get a paper, and be prepared to take notes, because he is here on a mission to share a message with you tonight that is going to catapult your productivity and your desire to be a voice of hope to a whole nother level. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you my friend, my brother, Mr. Wade Randolph. Wade, are you there?
Yes, how you doing, my sister?
I am awesome, great, and grateful to be hearing your voice, and excited for the audience tonight, because I know you've been stirring some powerful stuff up there in your wheelbox of perfection and excellence. So I can't wait to take my notes tonight and be inspired.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being on the call. So thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Wade, and take it away.
You know, guys, I say there are 3 types of people in this world: people that make things happen, people that watch things happen, and people that will wonder what happened. So I want to applaud you for being on the call tonight, because the people that are on this call are the people that's going to make things happen. They're going to inspire lives, and more anything, they're going to change the world, because right now, with the chaos that we've seen in London and throughout our country, we need people that can inspire people to a high level of living and enjoyment. I want to talk to you tonight about something very serious. There's a quote that I love, and please write this down. It says, "Get busy living or get busy dying." And I want to ask you an important question that I really want you to think about. Are you fully living? Are you living your life fully? And that's a serious question that we have to answer tonight. Are you living your life fully? I want you to write that down. I want you to take a moment and think about that. Because there are some of us that's on the phone tonight that we're going to jobs that we hate. You know, the heart attack rate goes up on Monday. Why? Because people are going to jobs that they hate, that they're not fully living and enjoying. Or better yet, there's some of us on this phone that we're in a relationship, and when we're going home, we just wonder if we want to go through that door one more time, because now home no longer is enjoyable, because now it's become stressful and we're not fully living. Or better yet, you go to the doctor and he says, "Wait a minute, I want to talk to you. These tests didn't come out as we thought." And you sit there and you just wonder, what's going to be next? How will this impact your life? And you have to ask yourself, how do you continue to live life fully? Are you living life fully? That's a serious question, because let me tell you, if I'm going to be honest with you tonight, then I have to say that there was at one time that this voice that you hear, I wasn't fully living. I used to work at Inner Baked Foods, making Girl Scout cookies. And I used to work the late night shift, and I would always say, I want something more for myself. I want something more for my family. I want something more that I can live for, look forward to. And I know you're asking yourself the same question. Do you have something to look forward to? And when I would say that to my friends, they would say, "You fool, you living life fully." As Mr. Brown says, sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down, but you got to make a decision that no longer will you just settle for where you are. No longer will you just settle for being mediocre. No longer will you just settle for being average. There's a book I want you to get, The Enemy Called Average. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you tonight, and write this down. None of us on this phone are average. There's something inside of us that's greatness inside of us. As Mr. Brown says, there's something inside of us that allows us to live life on another level. But there's something inside of us that we've got to decide that enough is enough, as the people have said in London, England today. Enough is enough. And I'm not going to take this anymore. Enough is enough. I'm not going to live in fear anymore. Enough is enough. I've got something else to give the world. And we got to decide. Are we living life fully? I was invited a month or so ago to an honoree party. And I asked my wife when I got the invitation, I said, what is an honoree party? Is it a party that they honor the person for the service they've given? Is it a party that they just sit around and enjoy because it's like a birthday party? And they said, no, baby, this is not what it is. This is a party of a man, Mr. Earl, who has for 80 years worked and enjoyed what he's done. And when I walked into that big, bright, square room, and there was wall-to-wall people, the first thing that was on the wall, it said, Earl, live life fully. And that hit me. That impacted me. Because at 90 years old, this gentleman who was self-made, at 90 years old, this gentleman who came up through difficult times, at 90 years old, this gentleman who had impacted so many people, they didn't decide just to throw him a party. They started and decided to honor his life. You have to ask yourself the question, who will honor your life? Who have you inspired so that one day they will say thank you? Who have you given to that you have brought your gifts forth, that you've helped push them up instead of pull them down? Who have you given a new vision to that will show them how to live? And when Mr. Earl got up there, an older man, 90 years old, and he didn't just walk up there. He walked up with a level of confidence and conviction, and he grabbed the mic. He started to sing. And they said, that's Mr. Earl. He's fully living. And he said, I want to give you three things that I learned and what he said that makes the difference of living life fully. He said, one thing that I want people to recognize, I might be 90 years old, but age and the number doesn't define me. He said, I'm self-defined. And that reflected on me because I've heard so many people say that. I'm self-defined. He said, the first thing I want you to remember is I decided to make life enjoyable. And you have to ask yourself, at this point, this Monday night, where you are in your life, are you making life enjoyable? That's a serious question. Most people don't want to answer that. They just gave over that question. But let's take a moment and think for it tonight. He said, when I was coming up, I got a job at the correctional center. I didn't go to college. I have a high school education. And he said, ladies, if I'm honest with you, the ones that have attended this session tonight, this honorary session for me, he said, the job I got in the Correctional Institute, they used to walk by and say, Earl, you're pretty good, but you're not doing the best that you can in here. We don't know if we should keep you. And he said, I decided to pick it up a little bit, decided to give more of my ability to the job. He said in the next review, they came by and said, Earl, we still don't see any improvement in you. And he said, I'm giving my best. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you're going to give your best. Sometimes you're going to give it all in. Sometimes you're going to be all in, but there are some people that won't recognize that you're giving it your all. And he said, I don't want to lose my job. I can't afford it. I got kids. I got obligations. I got family at home. I got to keep a roof over their head. He said, so I'm going to give it a little bit more. Give it, instead of 90%, I'm going to give it 110% because I need this job. And if you're serious on this phone, we all need our jobs. We all have to give our best. And he said at the third review, they came to him and said, Earl, we don't know, man. We're going to give you about 30 days to get it together, but you just don't have this sequence down. You're just not performing to the level that we want, and we know you're a good guy, but we just don't know. And he said, at that moment, when I was walking out of the office, he said, something in me said, enough is enough. And if you've looked at what's going on in London, even through the misery, the tragedy, and issues that they have, the Prime Minister said today, enough is enough. I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to live my life being in fear. And I think that's what Earl said. Enough is enough. He said, gentlemen, enough is enough. Today, I'm resigning because I can't take this anymore. I'm not enjoying my life, and I'm not enjoying here. You got to ask yourself, when is enough for you? When is enough that you're not living the life that you want? When is enough that you're not using the gift that the Creator gave you? Yeah, please write this down. God gave us life, but we co-create our life. Are you enjoying what you're doing, or is enough enough? He said, and that day I walked out and decided I would open my own business as a truck driver. And from that day, I've enjoyed every moment of it. What is it that you will enjoy? What is it that you can do it and it brings a smile to your face? What is it that you can do that you'll enjoy every day? Here's what I tell you, write this down. Find something that you enjoy. And we said, Mr. Earl, let me ask you, what is it that makes the difference of you being successful? You don't have a college education. You just have a high school education.
Here's what I found on the website.
He said, what's very important is that I demanded the best of myself each day. And we hear that. But you have to ask yourself the question, as Mr. Earl, who all these people were there to honor, who all these people saw that he was self-made. He built his business from the ground up. Are you demanding the best of yourself every day? And he said, sometimes I would get behind my truck and they would give me an 18-wheeler. And gentlemen, I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to drive it. So late at night, I would get in, and I would get in the cab, and I would take it on the parking lot, and sometimes you could hear the gears stripping. Sometimes it would jerk, and I would spend hours on hours and hours just to learn how to drive it in the parking lot because I knew I wanted something more for my family. I knew that if I could do this, that would move me to another level. I knew that I had to demand the best of myself each day. Because when I got over this hurdle, it would introduce me to something new. What are you demanding of yourself? What are you pushing yourself? Or are you letting fear stop you? What are you willing to do to give you a better life? What are you willing to do to say no more of this? What are you doing to live life fully? And when Mr. Earl sat down, he said, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you coming here tonight. He said, but let me give you the most important element that has kept me young, that has kept me 90 years, that allows me to sing, and allows that this room be packed with people that honor me. Write this down. He said, inspire other people. Inspire other people. He said, when my trucking business was successful, I used to just drive down the street, and I used to have my neighbor that was 5 houses down. I would see his son, and his son was just out there lollygagging, not doing anything. Sometimes he'd be just sitting on the porch, and I would stop, and I would blow the horn to him, and I would say, young man, you can do better than that. And he said each day I would go throughout the week, and every time I would see on Henry on the porch, I would stop my truck and that red cab, and I would say, young man, you can do better than that. And then in the midst of honoring Mr. Earl, Henry stood up. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Mr. Earl came down the street one day, and from him repeatedly, time after time after time, stopping in front of the house. One day he let me get in the cab, and he said, young man, drive this truck and see how you do. And from Mr. Earl allowing me to drive that truck, now I own my own trucking business. Now Mr. Earl was the one that helped me. Mr. Earl inspired me. And the question we have to ask ourselves tonight, who will you inspire to do better? Who will you inspire to live their life at another level? Who will you inspire to make a difference, not just for them, but for their family and for generations to come? You've got to be asking yourself, will you be willing to live life fully? You see, I think the people in London are right tonight, that even though they're going through difficult times, even though that they are fearful of what may happen next year, what may happen next week, or what may happen tomorrow, they're not going to let that fear stop them. That they're going to be willing to live life fully. So here's what I want you to do in the spirit of Mr. Earl, who's 90 years old, has given so much. Oh, I tell you, When my time comes at 90, I hope people honor me. I hope people say that I did something for them. I hope people will say that we made a mark on this planet that made it better. I hope they say that we live life fully. So let me remind you of this as we bring the call to an end tonight. Find something that you enjoy. Create a life that you demand of yourself. Make it something that's going to make your life a masterpiece. And more than anything, life's too short not to go and help people, inspire other people to their next level. So let me leave you with this thought. If you're going to live life fully, they call me Wade the More Guy. I want you to remember this. Don't just dream more, do more. Don't just think more, create more. Don't just exist, live. Don't just change, improve. Remember this, live life fully. Stacy, it's all yours.
Well, I just had to get the fire extinguisher to put out all of the blazes from what you just stirred us up. You and Mr. Earl got us ready to run in the street, Mr. Wade Randolph. Thank you so much for this amazing message. I love what Mr. Earl shared at 90 years old, inspire other people. And how fitting is that for the close of your message, Wade, because that's what Mr. Brown has done with his decades and work and the body of work he's created, inspired all of us to not just go through life, but to grow through life. And, you know, it's so important for us to realize that we have to get to the point where we're saying enough is enough. What can we do more? What can we do better? Just as you said, Wade. So thank you so much for sharing this message with us tonight. And how can people contact you if they want to continue the conversation?
Well, let me if we've got people on this call that's really going to live life fully, let me help them get across that bridge. So tonight, I'm going to share with our guest that if they text me at 21000-21000 and put in the word MORE, M-O-R-E, then they're going to get a special online copy of my book, Staying Strong Through the Storms. Because we're all going to go through the storms, but if we're going to live life fully, then I'm hoping that book will help you get through them with a peace of mind, a peace of spirit, and a peace of view that you can make it through. So again, 21000-21000 and the word MORE.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Wade. I tell you, what's going on around us and what we're witnessing is just a constant reminder of why these messages of hope are necessary, because what we know, Wade, we're reminding everyone on this call, and Mr. Brown reminds everyone as he speaks of the things that we already know, but we need some additional support and help in activating and really taking action on our goals and our dreams. And as you talked about, Mr. Earl, I just kept thinking about my grandmother and everything that she has taught and the legacy that I intend to have live on through me and my children and my children's children, my entire family, that we can honor those lessons that are timeless, inspire other people. Sounds simple, but it goes so deep. And I want to thank you for sharing this with us tonight, for reminding us of the work that is yet to be done and not to be dismayed, distracted with all that is happening around us, but to stay focused on the areas in which we can be a blessing in the global marketplace. So before we wrap up the call, I know you are busy with multiple commitments and you took the time out to share this message tonight, but do you have about 5 minutes if I open up the line in case one of our callers might have a question and or comment for you?
Let's do that. They say service is a ring. pay for time on earth. So let's do this, see if we can be of service.
Awesome. So stand by, everybody. I will open up the lines and allow you to ask a question or give a comment. I only ask that you do it one at a time. And let's reserve the opportunity for our new callers so we can get everyone's question in before we wrap up this call and allow Mr. Wade Randolph and myself to make our other commitments for the night. So please stand by for me, everyone.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you can press *6. Tell us your name and your question and or comment for Mr. Wade Randolph tonight.
My dear Dr. Stacy.
Is that my Ray? Great to hear your voice, my Ray.
I need some phone numbers from you.
Okay, my love. We have someone with a question. So I've been traveling, Ray, and haven't had a chance to reach out to you, but I will make sure that I give a reminder to my team that I don't let this week go by without giving you a call. Okay, sweetheart? So I can get the number
Thank
for
you so much.
You are welcome, darling. Not a problem.
Now, wait, can I call you?
Yes, let me give you a number. Or better yet, let me make it simple because I'm on the road like Stacy. Email me, if you would, at Wade, W-A-D-E, at THEMOREGUY.com. Wade at themoreguy.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Wade. And Ray, we will definitely be in touch. And the gentleman that was, you're welcome, sweetheart. The gentleman that was holding, please go right ahead.
Hey, Stacey, this is Myron, and I just want to say thank you, Brother Randolph. Thank you again. I appreciate your message.
Well, thank you. Glad you got some value from Myron.
Indeed. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Myron, for always being here. I saw that there were two other people unmuting, so you can go ahead at this time.
Hello.
Hello. Go right ahead, sir.
Okay. Yes. Hi, Dr. Stacy. This is Siraj from Los Angeles.
Yes, hi, Siraj. Hello, my friend. Great to hear your voice. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, my beautiful sister. And Dr. Wade, Mr. Wade Randolph, just want to say thank you for the fantastic message. You touched on something that this gentleman was 90 years old. Am I correct?
You're correct.
Okay. So I really appreciated the message because ever since I've married my gorgeous wife and my mother, they keep teaching me that service, like you said, is the price we pay for occupying this earth. And I don't think we should wait till we're 90 years old to realize that our purpose is to serve other human beings. So I really appreciate your message, and I really hope it hits home with a lot of people.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Siraj. Thank you for your example and your support as well. You are amazing, and I just appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
You're welcome. And I think there was another young lady that was trying to get through.
Stacy, this is Deborah calling from New York, Nadim's associate.
Oh, yes.
How are you? I am so happy that you did this. I actually was on much earlier, but the call hadn't started, and I had to jump off. And I just have to say to you and Wade Randolph, I apparently jumped in right on time because even though I missed the first part of the story, the more and the more, I have to say, every day, it's 1% more, it's 2% more, but if you're serving, there's not a day that goes by that you can't do just a little more than you did the day before. And for those that have longevity in their family, get the idea of service from your elders.
Mm-hmm.
Well stated.
Absolutely, Deborah. Absolutely. So thank you so much for
my pleasure.
Connected here in our Motivational Monday Night family. We're so glad to have you join us.
And I'm happy to be here and happy to serve.
Awesome. Awesome. I just love it. Okay, so we can take about one or two more callers because we do have another commitment. But if you are holding, I want to make sure you get through before we wrap up our call tonight.
Thank y'all so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Ray. And I heard another voice coming through. If that is you, this would be the time to say hello. And if not, and you can't unmute, it is fine. We just appreciate you being here and being a part of the call. So last call, and then
Hello.
we'll go back. Go right ahead.
Hi, Dr. Stacy. Hi, Wade. This is Darren Smith.
Oh, hey, Duran. How are you, man? My friend.
Hey, Darren.
Good man. Well, you know, I'm always on the call, but Wade, whenever I heard your voice, I'm like, I had to jump on and, man, tell you that keep doing what you're doing. So, like, service never goes, unnoticed. So, man, I just always appreciate your message, and I'm glad to hear your voice. Oh, and I also would like to, encourage everyone to get Wade's book because since I already have it, it's a great book. So I would encourage everybody to, even though you might get a free copy, through your message tonight, but I still encourage everybody to get his book.
Thank you, Duran. I really appreciate it, my friend.
Sure, brother.
Awesome sauce. I love it. And thank you, Darren. And last
And you.
but not least, you're welcome. I think there's one other person trying to get through. Okay.
All callers are muted.
We appreciate you for staying on and sharing your comments or questions and just letting Wade know that his work is not in vain, and we appreciate the message that you have shared tonight. I know enough is enough on my end, Wade. I tell you, I don't even want to listen to the news too much anymore. I never really did, but I'm just staying focused on developing the results that I'm blessed to do with my clients and those that I serve, and being an antidote to what I call the 10 parts cray-cray that's going on around us in this country. Too much going on, and we have to be beacons of light. So thank you, Wade, for being a friend and a brother, and just appreciate you and your time that you took from your busy schedule to be here with us tonight.
Well, thank you, my sister, for the opportunity. For anyone that didn't hear my message earlier, get a free online copy of Staying Strong Through the Storm by texting MORE to 21000 or 21,000 and the word MORE.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I also promised to give you some information on seeing Mr. Brown live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on June 24th. So if you are interested in that event, I would advise you to just go straight to the website where you can register and get more information. And that website is Events by Arise. That's EVENTSBYARISE.com. That's eventsbyarise.com. Or you could call 954-653-8001. That's 954-653-8001. And that is Saturday, June 24th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. How to Tell Your Story, one-day intensive workshop with Mr. Les Brown and his daughter Ona Brown, and special guests, retired NFL players Lawrence L.T. Taylor and Randall Hill. Stay connected on social media with Mr. Brown at brown.les on Facebook, as well as connecting with him at the lesbrowninstitute.com for those who are interested in finding out how to develop your own story and expand your platform. You can connect with me at actionbook.com. That's actionbook.com. Shoot an email there. Follow me on social media. Let's stay connected. Let's do this thing called life together and inspire inspire other people, as Wade Randolph reminded us of tonight. So God bless you, your goals and your dreams. Continue moving forward. Make this week your best week of 2017 yet, and we look forward to hearing your voices again next week, same time, same place. This is Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant signing off, and thank you again, Wade Randolph, for being here.
Thank you again,